Oh my goodness. He's back, baby. Gigantomachia returns. In yet another flashback of the villain, but still, we get to see this giant. What's up? It's Truth Hero, and welcome back to yet another My Hero Academia chapter review. Today, we'll be discussing Boku no Hero Academia chapter 219 in the manga, and we have a lot to talk about. Everything from Bakugo and Shoto's team up to the scattering of the League of Villains with Guran's capture. But of course, stay tuned until the end of the video where we discuss Gigantomachia as a character. Let's dive in. Before jumping into anything too crazy with the League of Villains, let's talk about Shoto and Bakugo here. I think this is great that these two get some development together as characters because before this they were just rivals since they're two of the most powerful students in Class 1A. But hopefully now that they have their hero licenses and they're working together in the real world, they can sort of feed off each other and develop and grow together as characters. Also, I love this embrace and congratulations by All Might. He says, "You guys did a terrific job." Shoto goes, "Thank you, master." And Bakugo goes, "Get off." Never change, Bakugo. Never change. If you had any doubts that Bakugo wasn't qualified or mature enough to have a provisional license as a hero, think again, okay? He uses his explosions to stop every single member of this robbery crew from running away, and actually knocks them out in the process even though he was holding back. But that's not the only thing, he also recovers all of the stolen items right before they're turned to ash by his own quirk, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, you don't get more skilled and mature as a hero than this. Baku Goat. Okay, maybe mature wasn't exactly the correct word. Bakugo's attitude hasn't changed, and his insults are only getting better. This is curious because this is why he failed the provisional license exam in the first place. He insulted the people that he was trying to save. But then again, there's this stupid lady trying to take pictures of the snow carnival because Todoroki made ice while stopping the villains. So, come on lady, you're just being stupid. Move, alright? I'm with Bakugo on this one still. Speaking of saving dumb pedestrians, Toshinori with the moves. All Might may not have a quirk anymore, but no one can doubt that this man is a hero through and through. Between Bakugo and Shoto getting their provisional licenses and maturing as heroes, Shoto's actually the more interesting one here, and it's given how he defeats Soda Boy. He uses a move called Great Freezing Heat Wave. Now, we know this isn't a super move because one, as Bakugo pointed out, Shoto used it against Deku in the sports festival, and he also used a dumbed down version of it to not kill the villain here. But also, number two, Shoto has been working on a super move with Endeavor that heightens his temperature and increases his flames, so we know it's not this. But the important thing here is that Shoto now demonstrates that he has control over both ice and fire at the same time. So, whereas Bakugo might be maturing emotionally as a hero, even though he's still insulting people, Shoto is both maturing emotionally and physically with his quirk. He now controls both ice and fire in a pretty fluid manner. Also, let me know in the comments below, what do you think Shoto's eventual super move will be that he's working on with Endeavor? No one likes a warm soda, right? Ooh, sick burn, Shoto. Sick burn. Damn, Bakugo isn't the only one with insults. I swear, Horikoshi probably made this villain have control over carbonized water just to use this diss. And I support that. At the end of this fight scene between Bakugo and Shoto and these common street criminals, there's a very obvious important moment where Soda Boy's gauntlets explode. Now, the only explanation we get from the hero side, from the professional hero Slip and Go, is that they're products of the black market and they don't hold up well. But as we see, they're actually items manufactured by the Liberation Army to surveil heroes. And the unfortunate thing is, now all these goons of the Liberation Army know exactly how Bakugo and Shoto stack up in combat. Now we finally know why the CEO of Dead Company and the Liberation Army were so hellbent on their marketing scheme to get into hero support items and items that help people with quirks that don't fit everyday life. It wasn't so that someone with 6 arms can hide them, or the kid with jelly skin can stop gooping everywhere. It was, that just sounds wrong. No, it's for surveillance, and this is where Guran of the League of Villains comes in. Think about this, Dead Company is a great company on the outside, and it serves everyday people and even heroes. But that's really only half of society, and if you're trying to get data on everyone and be methodical in your approach to villainy, that's not going to cut it. Guran might not give up any information on the League of Villains and their members, and in fact, I actually don't think he knows where the members are. If you remember, at one point, Giran was trying to call Dabi and actually had to call twice to try and find out where he was, and until twice stumbled upon him, he didn't even know. But there is one thing that Giran will definitely do, and that's anything for money. With his ties to the black market, the CEO of Detnerat Company and the Liberation Army can now monopolize the black market and give all these common street criminals these items, thus expanding their reach and surveillance. I just love how methodical they are in this approach, and Horikoshi is doing a great job in this corrupt business sense. With the capture of Giran, it really shows how dire the situation is for the League of Villains and how many ties they've lost. Kurogiri is in jail, All For One is in jail, and they've obviously sustained some losses in addition to Giran being captured. And this is kind of weird because we knew Dabi was out on his own trying to find new recruits. We know that Twice was out on his own with his backstory being told. But I thought they would just lay low together, and in fact they did come back together at the end of the Chisaki arc. But why aren't they together now? I have no idea. And obviously at the end of this chapter, we see Gigantomachia wreaking havoc on them, so unless Shigaraki steps up and takes the lead, the League of Villains is in trouble. Gigantomachia returns. He's squeezing Mr. Compress. Toga's on the ground, and Shigaraki looks pretty scared but also pretty pissed. And there's a good reason why Gigantomachia doesn't recognize any of these people as his allies, or perhaps anyone besides All For One. You might think that Gigantomachia is this powerhouse of a character, but that's not exactly it. Sure, he is like the Hulk, and I'm sure Horikoshi wants to incorporate something like the Hulk, but it's more using the Bruce Banner side of him, the tragic side of him. If I had to compare Gigantomachia to one character in all of literature, it would be Lenny from Of Mice and Men. Now, even though Gigantomachia says, All For One, they're not enough, they're too small, or they're not big enough, he is not looking for someone as big as him. He's not looking for another giant. To put it in another way, for all you Seven Deadly Sins fans, Gigantomachia isn't looking for his Dian, but rather his Gowther. If you remember from the Seven Deadly Sins, Gowther gives his armor to a monster, one of the new generation, to make him feel protected and actually accepted. Gigantomachia wants the same thing, and this is what he got from All For One. All For One is not a giant, but like Gowther, he's very powerful, and serving under All For One gave Gigantomachia a purpose where he could use his strength in a positive way. Now, I know it's for villainy, but still, he had a place of acceptance. Unless Shigaraki and his teammates can find a way to make Gigantomachia feel accepted, he's just going to hurt him, and like Lenny from Of Mice and Men, I don't think it's possible to shoot Gigantomachia in the back of the head. I mean, this guy seems pretty tough. But I want to know from you, how do you see Gigantomachia's character? Is he more Hulk smash who can just powerhouse his way through? Or is he more a sympathetic character like Lenny from Of Mice and Men? And if he is a sympathetic type of villain, what dynamic does this add to the League of Villains versus the Liberation Army versus the heroes? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. If you like My Hero Academia content and these manga reviews, consider enrolling at UA today by clicking the subscribe button down below. And until next time, Plus Ultra.